Mr. Viale met Mr. Lartique when he was tasked with opening the St. Croix Educational Complex High School in 1995. Mr. Lartique was the first chairman of the counseling department and was part of making the Math and Science Magnet program a beacon of success. Mr. Viale says that he likes Mr. Lartique because he is blunt, honest, and not afraid to share his opinion. Please welcome Mr. Lartique.
Good afternoon. Today, we are here united by a common goal to see Kurt Viale elected to the 31st Legislature of the Virgin Islands. Again, I think that we all know well enough to fully support him in his bid for the election to the 31st Legislature. But we must also be committed from this moment to also support him when he is in office, for we all know that he will be elected come November. Amen. Nothing is stopping that. We are going to elect him. He needs to be elected. We need him in St. Croix. What I want to do today is to highlight some of the key leadership qualities I saw in Kurt during the 15 years I worked with him at the St. Croix Educational Complex. My experiences with Kurt began in 1995 when we both were among the newly assigned staff for the then opening St. Croix Educational Complex. That's when I got to know, love, and appreciate Kurt for the person that he is. He was new to the role as principal of a new high school. I had worked as a guidance counselor for several years at Central High School. Kurt and I bonded immediately because we shared the same work ethic. I gave him my all, and I saw him give his all to the task of creating something from nothing. He was not afraid to accept my guidance on those issues that were new to him and with which I was familiar. I saw in him the spirit of collaboration and trust. A good leader knows when to accept guidance from those who have trod the path before. From then, I began to respect and admire the leadership skills I saw in Kurt. He was kind, patient, accepting, and willing to compromise without abandoning what he believed. As we all struggled through building a reputation of our new school, Kurt never gave up on his vision for a school that would embrace and represent the needs of each student and each adult worker at the school. I saw how he stepped into his role of leadership by caring for each of his students, and I saw how each of his students recognized that they had an advocate in him and continually praised him. He knew how to validate his staff and how to keep them motivated. He demonstrated that nothing was too good for his staff, and if he had to, he would personally make sure that he got whatever materials they needed to do their job. Nothing was beneath his doing. I saw him roll up his sleeves, take off his tie, and work with us in the trenches. A true leader never asks his subordinates to do what he himself will not do. In those formative months at the St. Croix Educational Complex, I saw true leadership evolve. Kurt was never afraid to step into the trenches and deliver as our new school fought for its own recognition and a place in the education arena in St. Croix. For 15 years, I worked alongside this man. I felt his warmth and determination. But I saw a leader who was not afraid to tackle difficult situations or situations that were unpopular with others. That's the kind of fearless commitment we need in our leaders. Along with his kind and generous spirit, we at the St. Croix Educational Complex knew that he stood for excellence and would not tolerate anything less, especially when it came to meeting the needs of the students in his care. I thought to myself, this is what young, gifted, and black looks like up close. A true leader is a believer and fights for what he believes. Yes, I saw a man who was driven to achieve success for St. Croix and for the entire Virgin Islands. He spoke on this frequently, and he always expressed the conviction that things would turn around for us all in the Virgin Islands. I was a little scared, I have to admit, because I felt his true calling was beyond the St. Croix Educational Complex, and I dreaded him leaving us stranded. For in my heart, I knew that this was his true calling, to go beyond the complex to a place where he could fight for everyone who calls this territory home. I knew then, as I know now, that Kurt possesses what it takes to go into the legislature and lead. We need leaders in this legislature. I saw a man who was kind, generous of spirit, warm-hearted, accepting of others, able to motivate others, and above all, not afraid to take a risk. This is a man who believes that our children are worth fighting for. This is a man who believes in his heart that the United States Virgin Islands, has a bright and promising future regardless of the negative forecast. So without fear or hesitation, I wholeheartedly endorse this man of vision, this young and promising leader, this true patriot, to be a member of the 31st legislature. Let's all work hard and send Kurt to be a member of the 31st legislature. Yes.